Welcome to the GCN Tech Show. This week we've got ourselves a 24 karat gold bike, a possible new helmet, an electric bike stand and a wooden velodrome inspired ring.
And we're going to be talking about custom built bikes. Do we really need them?
Oh, I don't know, it's a contentious subject, but we'll find out. Firstly, Colnago have presented a bike to their owner, Ernesto Colnago, to celebrate his birthday. The 87, I hope I've said that right, or the 87th anniversary bike is a pretty special bike indeed, because get this, it's worth €50,000. Yeah, that's right. And it's, well, plated in 24 karat gold too, so it's a pretty bling looking bike for his birthday.
It is a bit. In fact, it's quite similar to the bike that he gave to Pope John Paul II back in 1979. And it features those same arabesque style lugs on the bonds of the tubes. And it's also got a special 50th anniversary Campagnolo Super Record group set.
Oh, do you know what? Those group sets are amazing. When I visited Corsa out in Tokyo, there was a load of bikes. I say loads, there was probably 5 bikes out there with that group set on. You spin those cranks and they just keep going and going and going. Yeah.
Do you reckon Ernesto spins his cranks often?
Yeah, all the time. You see him out on the club run, yeah. Especially on that €50,000 bike. Blimey.
I'd put it in a museum, John.
Yeah, lucky guy. Happy birthday.
Of course, if you do have a bike like that, you're going to need a pretty neat way to store it, aren't you? The Vado Libero Vertic, a vertical storage solution for your pride and joy.
Yeah, now this bit of kit is pretty premium, isn't it?
It is.
Let's face it, you're not going to be chucking it away in your shed, are you? Because, well, it weighs 22 kilos for a start.
And you need an electric hookup or attachment.
Yeah, and the reason for that electric is not because it's automated or anything. That'd be pretty cool, wouldn't it? Yeah. Let's face it. It's actually because it's got dimmable LED lighting on it. So
how romantic!
Yeah, you can imagine this. Valentine's Day today, isn't it?
Perfect gift.
Yes, there we are. So you could actually put it in your living room and show off your €50,000 bike, for instance.
Yeah. How much is the rack, John?
€1,900. Yeah, so it's pretty steep, but I guess if you really do have a really cool place to put your bike and you want to show it off to all your friends or dinner party guests, then maybe the Vado Libero Vertic is just for you. More tech later. Do we really need custom built bikes?
Well, I think it's a really good question. And whilst it may not be a necessity, it is really nice to have your own custom bike that you've been part of the design process. It's bespoke to you. No one else is going to have one like you.
Yeah. I guess it's like buying a suit, isn't it? Because you can buy an off-the-peg suit from a shop and it's going to do the job, isn't it? But if you get that bespoke one where you've been tailored, all of your measurements, it's going to fit you just right. And ultimately, you're probably going to feel a little bit better with it, aren't you? Yeah,
you'll feel more at one, certainly when it comes to handling and comfort on a long ride.
Yeah.
If you've got an extra centimetre in the top tube because you need the extra length, but you don't want to run a 130 or a 140 stem, that's really going to make the difference to the handling. You'll feel much more confident.
I guess though, for us mere mortals, do we really need a custom built bike? When the world's top riders out there, they're using a bike which you can just buy off the shelf with, well, virtually no modifications on there whatsoever. I mean, a lot of that is probably because of the cost of a carbon mould to get a special bike for a rider. But on the other flip side, if you have extreme proportions, so very long arms, very long legs, or vice versa, then a custom built bike is going to suit you down to the ground, isn't it?
So Emma, for example, could benefit from a custom built bike.
Yeah, 100%. And I don't think I can sway you on the argument, really, and I wouldn't want to, or the discussion point rather, because I think that if everybody rode the same bike or if everybody looked the same, the world would be a really boring place. And a custom bike for you is actually a way of expressing your personality or your riding style, for instance, isn't it?
Yeah, completely. What if you do a whole multitude of different rides, but you only want to have one bike?
Yeah, exactly. You can have it designed, that multi-purpose bike. I mean, these days though, a few of the big manufacturers are mass-producing now bikes that, are really versatile, aren't they?
Yeah.
But I guess if you've got, for instance, Joe Bloggs somewhere in the world who's building frames for you, you can actually specify every single detail down to the nitty-gritty of the solder you want to be used.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Or the line that your seat stays take back up to the bridge.
Yeah, now you've got me thinking. But actually, the reason why I even got thinking about this subject to start with is because in a few weeks' time, I'm off to the North American Hand-Built Bike Show in Sacramento.
Nice.
And I'm looking forward actually to meeting some of the world's best custom bike builders. to actually find out the reason behind why they got into the art and industry of building these, and also some of the strangest requests and how they can fulfill them too.
Oh, looking forward to watching that.
Yeah, but let us know what your thoughts are on custom bikes down there in the comment section below, because certainly 25, 30 years ago, when road racers here in the UK were getting custom built frames, it was normally because the off the peg ones were probably not designed for quite such aggressive racing that the Italian builders at the time were building, so longer top tubes, that sort of thing. So there's some food for thought there for you lot at home to get stuck in with. Let us know in the comments. Right, more new tech now. And while stalking professional cyclists on Instagram this week, I spotted this on the head of Gregory Bourges, the French track sprinter. Check out that helmet.
Oh, look at those earmuffs.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what is going on there, but it's definitely a Giro helmet, but it appears to have some adaptation around over the ears. But
yeah, well, I don't like wind noise myself, so maybe he's done it for that.
Yeah, maybe. He's not on the track for that long though, and it's not generally that windy. But
is it even legal?
I don't know. I wouldn't like to comment on that, but let us know what you think about that. Gregory, if you're watching, let us know exactly what it is. Right, now sticking with the velodrome theme, and well, my mate Rob Hales, check this out, mate. He's made a wooden themed ring.
That is cool. I like that.
That's really nice, isn't it? You can just imagine the Siberian pine being crafted and wrapped. Only joking, but it does look great, doesn't it? I'm just gutted I can't wear one because I don't like to wear rings.
Is it pallet wood, was it? Not Siberian pine?
I don't know. Wouldn't like to say because Rob's a lot bigger than you and I, isn't he?
He's a bit. He's got a deeper voice as well.
Yeah, he'd absolutely destroy us. But
they're cool though. I like those.
Yeah, I absolutely think it looks great. More tech next week. Right, it's now time for Screw Riding Upgrades by Upgrades, the part of the show where you submit pictures before and after of your upgrades that you've done to your bikes or possibly your workshop or, well, anything cycling related really, isn't it?
Pretty much.
We absolutely love to see them. So if you've got anything, upload it using the uploader tool down below. But first up, we need to announce last week's winner.
We do.
Yeah. It was pretty convincing, wasn't it?
Yeah.
79% of the votes, and it was Dan and his mongoose.
Is that the biggest victory yet?
I wouldn't like to say. Yeah, but do get in touch with us on Facebook to arrange delivery of your workshop apron. I must just say, actually, we're currently out of stock of them, so there will be a slight delay, but it's probably because of the overwhelming success of Screw Riding Upgrades by Upgrades.
Ollie told me he's got 20 at home. Maybe you could have one of his.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but he calls them caprons. Anyway, right, Chris, with no further ado, mate, what do we got this week?
This week is the story of Thomas from Burnsdale, Australia.
Oh, nice.
In 2013, cyclocross was becoming very popular in Australia, especially Melbourne. And as a competitive junior racer on the road and MTB, Thomas wanted to give it a crack, but was on a budget. Thomas went to a few second-hand shops and found this Shogun Metro hybrid for $15.
That's a steal. Well, wasn't a steal, but yeah.
Thomas obtained some donated parts from a local bike shop, generous, and some riders in the club who helped him out too.
There's some nice people out there.
There are. Yeah. Thomas was able to construct this pretty sweet CX rig. Campag Veloci 9-speed, Mavic Caserian rear wheel, Shimano CX50 cantilever brakes, Cinelli stem, Nitto bars. Thomas used this bike to first under-19 rider in the elite race at the State CX Championships in Melbourne.
Wow. Blimey.
That's good going.
Yeah, look where we've gone from. Right, so we've gone from, well, that old hybrid. I mean, that was a really nice looking bike to start with, wasn't it?
I think Thomas must be a visionary because I would not have expected him to be able to create such a...
No. That looks absolutely great, doesn't it?
Yeah. Thomas, you're very tall.
Yeah, very tall. And look at that old exercise bike or turbo trainer in the background.
Presumably that's what he's been training on.
Yeah, to win, well, the state championships. I bet he upset a few people riding, well, that upgrade to that win.
Good work, Thomas.
That's a great looking bike, isn't it? Right. But Thomas, well, he's got a fight on his hands.
He has. Richard.
Yeah, Richard in Sheffield in the UK. Now, Richard wanted a cheap and cheerful commuter to save wear and tear on his road bike. He stumbled on a very sad-looking 1984 Rally Quasar on eBay. A bid went in, and it was Richard's for £10.50. He was the only bidder. It needed a full overhaul and plenty of elbow grease. But, well, Richard, he cleaned it up, replaced some of the essentials, and got it into a rideable state. Richard loved the bike, but it was too small for him. he listed it back on eBay, and to his surprise, it sold for £100.
Blimey.
With the profits, Richard bought a Genesis frame and fork on eBay again for £22 and spent the rest of the money on cheap parts from eBay and building it into a super simple single speed.
Nice.
In total, the bike cost Richard £94.25. All in, it was an easy build and is a really fun ride. So there it is. That's the starting one. Look.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Look at those mud guards.
Look at the aerodynamic bottle it came with to start with.
And those pedals.
Yeah. I tell you what, those mud guards, they weren't going to keep you very dry, were they?
No, but I think they look cool.
Yeah.
There's something about them.
Yeah. Anyway, that's the original bike. Then we've got what he turned it into. Nice looking bike.
Not bad at all.
Saddle looks way more comfortable. Then there's that frame he bought, £22. What a bargain. Fellow eBay addicts, it sounds. And then we've got the single speed he turned it into.
Yeah, look at those
That
bars.
is cool, isn't it? Bullhorn bars. That does look good, doesn't it?
I like that frame. It looks really good.
Yeah. £94.25p. That is good, isn't it? Yeah. Oh, I don't know who it's going to be. Thomas from Down Under or Richard from Sheffield. Who are you going to go for?
Well, I don't think I can say.
No.
Vote up here.
Yeah, top right hand corner. You decide. Next week, we'll have 2 more for you to vote on. Oh, I do like that.
Time for Bike of the Week. And
Ooh.
last week, it was a battle of the French teams. Groupama FDJ were up against AG Gazelle Le Mondial.
Oh.
And with a whopping 76% of the votes, it was the Eddie Merckx from AG Gazelle.
Oh, blimey. I'll tell you what, I didn't know who was going to win that one, but that's pretty convincing win, isn't it?
It is, isn't it? Yeah.
Anyway, this week we've got the Canyon bikes of Team Movistar. Of course, they're decked out in Campagnolo group sets and Campagnolo wheels, and they're up against the Colnagos of UAE Team Emirates, again with Campagnolo group sets and wheels. This one is going to be a big battle, I reckon. I reckon it's going to be a lot closer than last week because both brands have got really strong fan bases with us.
Yeah, they have. And I much prefer the Canyon.
There's
something old school about Colnagos. Whilst they're pretty.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know who I'm going to go for, actually. Yeah.
Well, we want to know
like
who
us, though,
you're
is
going
it?
for. No, up there.
Yeah. Next week, 2 more, smashing it out head to head. Right, it's now time for the bike vault, the moment of the show which we get inundated with pictures of people's bikes, don't we? You lot in your thousands are submitting pictures. So if you've got a picture of your bike that you want to go into the bike vault to be rated either nice or super nice, make sure you use that uploader tool down below and include loads of information about you and your bike, and also, importantly, where you come from. And when I say where you come from, I mean the actual location. It doesn't have to be your exact house, but not in my garden or in my basement, because that doesn't help anyone, does it?
Country, state, continent, any of that.
I mean, just a loose description. But what happens then, Chris, when someone gets a super nice?
Yeah!
The bell ringer is back. Right then, Chris, with no further ado, mate, please start off this week's first entrant into the bike vault.
Well, I enjoyed trawling through the uploader and I came up with this to start with.
Yeah.
It's Lorenzo's Cervelo P1 with Reynolds 66 wheels, Ultegra 6800 group set, 3T cockpit on his local crit track.
Oh, yeah.
So we've no idea where it is.
So a local crit track could be anywhere in the world. Thank you, though, Lorenzo.
Lorenzo built the bike up from old parts lying around to make it the dedicated indoor trainer bike. Hence, no brakes. You know what? I hadn't even noticed that.
No, I hadn't noticed that either. Yeah, I saw the brake levers. I just thought, I didn't think anything, actually.
It's quite a bike for indoor riding, isn't it?
Yeah, that is. Yeah, I like that. Of course, those frames, they didn't have a bottle bosses on the down tube, did they?
No, aero.
Yeah.
All in the name of aero.
Dynamics. I think that, to be honest, is a super nice.
Yeah. Until you go down a hill and it's a lethal weapon.
Yeah. Until you lend that bike to someone and they go riding on it and it all goes horribly wrong. Well, it doesn't matter really, does it?
No.
Yeah.
I think, let's go for it.
Yeah. It's like the town crier of Global Cycling Network here. Right, next up is Mike and his Thomasina Techno in the Rocky Mountain Forest.
Yeah.
What a backdrop. Now, apparently Mike got this back in the year 2000, had it shipped to his home, built it up with a Campagnolo Chorus group set, Mavic Open Pro wheels, Eastern bars, look pedals. That's one of those, is it a Concours saddle? Looks like it, doesn't it?
Say San Marco?
Yeah. That's
cool.
a really classic, traditional looking bike, isn't it?
Yeah. It's really cool.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of that. Elite QC bottle cages.
I wonder why Campac stopped drilling out their levers. They look so much better like that.
Oh, in the little inside bits, the paddle shifters. I don't know.
I love that.
Yeah, I think that, it's all right. There's a few discrepancies again, like tyres not lined up and everything like that. But do you know what I mean? That's a hell of a backdrop. It's a beautiful bike.
And he's had it for a while. I think of the hassle he went through to get it.
Yeah, Mavic Open Pros. I mean, that's what bikes looked like when I first started racing.
Yeah, and I love the traditional flat top tube.
Yeah.
More bikes should have those.
We just didn't have ergo shifters back then. But yeah, personally, we can't be too hard on people for not lining up tyres. Well, we can, but each bike is judged on individual merit, isn't it?
It is.
Give it a ring. Crumbs. Right.
I'm surprised that still works after Hank was in here last week.
Yeah, that's true actually, yeah. That's why he's not in this week. Right, anyway, who's up next?
Next up, we have Jeroen with a Gazelle team bike from Hogeveen in Drenthe in the Netherlands.
Very good pronunciation there, Chris.
Well, it should be. My brother-in-law won the Ronde van Drenthe 1 year.
There we are. And you speak proficiat Netherlands as well, don't you? Or something like that.
Something like that.
Right, okay.
I bought this bike in 1996 from the local cycling club in Hogeveen, the Pedalaars. The club Eric Dekker used to ride for.
Oh, Dekker.
A top amateur, had ridden it for just 1 season. I've carefully looked after it ever since and ridden many miles. Almost 23 years later, it looks and rides the same. Despite owning more modern bikes, this bike still has something special.
It is in good condition as well, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Blimey, that's showroom condition, your own.
I love it.
Cheeky.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, right. What is it though?
Reynolds 531 competition frame, size 60.
Big bike.
That's a big bike. Full Campag record and Chorus 1995 group set.
Oh.
ITM coil stem.
Oh.
ITM seat post, data bars, Rigida 18 up rims, Conti Grand Prix classic tyres, Selle Italia Flight 1990 saddle.
That bike was basically cutting edge in like 1994, 1995, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. I love the colour
edge.
scheme, the black and red.
Yeah, and those rims, Rigida DP18s, pretty sure. Yeah, they were all over the place. Everyone had them. Heavy, yeah.
I bet in 60 centimetre frame it's heavy as well.
Yeah,
but it is cool. You're right.
Yeah, I love that. I love that.
What do you reckon, John?
Yeah.
Super nice. Super nice.
3 out of 3. I'm worried here, Chris. You've come in here and you've just picked out some absolute rippers. Right, anyway, next one is Jamie from Torquay in Devon in the UK. That's down on the coast there.
English Riviera.
Oh, beautiful. It's a Genesis Datum, or Datum? Datum, I think we'll say. Says he was coached in triathlon, and it says, sorry, GCN. Ooh. But basically, this looks to be it's a full-on winter bike, isn't it, that?
It is, yeah. Proper mud guards, disc brakes, heavy-duty wheels, tyres.
That looks fantastic, doesn't it?
Yeah, I like
for a winter bike.
Well, it's neat and tidy, isn't it?
Yeah, a lot of people say, oh, mud guards, they look bad and stuff. No, they don't.
No.
They're functional, they're practical, they do the job.
And they fit well, those do.
Yeah, because you've got disc brakes, you've got loads of room on there. Is there any, I'm struggling to find any sort of criticism, to be honest, or feedback, rather.
No.
Yeah, I can't see any.
Where's your front light?
Yeah, where is your front light? Safety first. Or maybe just, it's daytime running light on the rear, isn't it? Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, I like it. Even taking out the bike stand as well. Yeah.
In your back pocket.
Yeah. Great.
Come on, John.
Yeah. Go on, Jamie. Congratulations.
Happy winter miles, Jamie.
Nice one, Jamie. Right, final one now, isn't it?
Oh, John, they just keep on coming.
Yes, I know who picked them out this week.
Yes.
Right then, who is the final one this week then?
Well, finally, we have Paul from Hong Kong with a bespoke titanium frame from Titan Cycles in China.
I've never been to Hong Kong.
I have. It's a nice place, John. Quite a nice place to go.
Invite. Right, okay. So what have we got then? We've got...
So the starting point for the bike was having that classic top tube and level stem.
Yeah. And he's got that.
He has. He's then, the rest of the geometry kind of flowed from there. MV fork, mechanical durace, Hunt wheels, which I think is a brilliant choice, 3T finishing kit, and an AX saddle.
That looks brilliant.
Yeah,
that looks absolutely amazing.
Yeah, it does. It looks exactly as he wanted, and he says it rides much better.
Yeah. The only thing that looks a little bit. Oh, look at that. Yeah. children's names etched onto the top tube. That's a nice finishing touch.
Yeah, that is, yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Lucky kids. The head tube is really oversized, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really stiff.
Yeah.
Well, it looks like it'd be stiff, especially when you're on the brakes.
Yeah, you'd enjoy sprinting on that, wouldn't you? Travolta. Right, but I think those red anodized details, they look spot on, don't they?
Yeah.
The little light, the seat clamp, the bottle cages,
headset,
top cap, GPS mount, it looks like.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah.
And have you seen the dropouts on the back of the frame as well?
I do like when you get titanium frames like that and steel frames, they always have fancy dropouts, don't they? Or fancy through axle.
CNC machines?
Yeah, just cool looking things.
Oh, I think it's easy for me, John.
Yeah, easy for me too.
Oversized tyres as well. I like it.
Right. If you're quite finished, Mr. OP, we can let people know exactly how they can submit pictures of their bikes to the Bike Vault. How do they do it?
Well, they use the uploader, John, which is in the link down below.
Yeah, and don't forget, include information about you and your bike and exactly where you come from. That's really nice for our, descriptions.
Yeah, exactly. The more exotic, the more chance you have of getting in.
No, that's not true. Well, kind of.
Well, I don't know. The better the picture of your bike, the more chance you have of getting in.
Yes. So there we are, nearly time for the end of the show, but don't worry, we've got heaps more great content coming up for you. So if you haven't done so already, make sure you subscribe to the channel and press that little notification icon, the little bell, because then you'll get notified, such as ding ding, each and every time we put a video live on the channel.
I can't guarantee it'll actually sound like that. If you want something else to watch, check out Ollie's custom paint video down there. That's pretty cool.
And if you want to see Si ride the brand new SRAM Red ETAP AXS group set, how about clicking just down here?